We're P Commando Royal Naval Reenactment Unit. We're based on a group called the Forgotten Commandos between 1942 and 1946. After Dunkirk, Churchill decided that we needed beach raiding parties, or parties to prepare the beaches for attacks. This involved getting on there first as a Royal Naval Beachhead Commando unit, first there and last out. Support vehicles, making way for more troops getting onto the beach, and generally staying there for the whole duration until the beach has been completely sealed off and completed, so that troops can move forward then further into the field. Disbanded unfortunately in 1946. The Royal Navy didn't really like their recruits running around in army uniforms, which didn't go in their favour, but nevertheless this is why we wear the pork pie hat, especially in front of other army units, to show them that we're Royal Navy. And when we were in front of naval units, we would wear the green beret. So basically something that very, very proud of, and it was awarded after doing the commando course, and along with the Fairburn Sykes knife, and it was worn in both cases with very, very much pride indeed. To Hitler's annoyance, because if you were found with one of these knives, he was special forces and you were shot on spot basically. Some of the weapons that the Beach Commandos used, more often than not, was the Lee Enfield No. 4. Everybody knows this weapon in the British forces. It's probably the weapon that was more commonly used out of any others. Fires 303 rounds, and is the stable of basically the British Armed Forces during World War II. Another weapon that the Beach Commandos used to use was the Sten submachine gun. They loved this because of its use at close quarter combat, something that the Commandos specialised. Very, very fast rate of fire, probably as fast as the Bren. I think if you were quick enough, it could do something like 600 rounds a minute, if you could load the fast enough and had enough mags on you. Originally, I believe they came with no safety and only fired full auto, so you had to use those magazines sparingly and accurately. Did have a reputation to jam, but we made these, I believe at the time, between £2 and £7, and this replaced the Thompson from America, which cost from £48 to £75. This is the Thompson. A fantastic weapon, a superb bit of kit. It's probably my favourite, and again readily used and heavily used by Royal Naval Commandos during World War II. Either those three weapons really would have been on a commando at any one time. They did use Lewis guns for a heavy gun, but more often than not it was the small arms. Another weapon that was used was a Colt 1911, a Browning high power, and of course the Webley revolver. The commando units were quite odd in that they were the first, well, sort of the first units that could pick and choose their kit. So even if you weren't issued with something, you might be able to acquire from an American unit. If you thought that their kit was more purposeful for the job, then you would get some and use it. You were allowed to modify your kit. Being in between naval and army roles, it was really open season. You could use wherever you want. So there's no strict guidance on RN commandos only use this. They'd use whatever they could get their hands on. As a unit, P Commando Reenactment Unit, we're very proud of the Beachhead Commandos. There are not many units portraying them. I think there's one other that I know of, and that's N Commando, another great unit. But they are definitely the forgotten commandos, and that's why we like to remember them and share with the public as much history and as much of our items as we possibly can.
Kevin, blue.
Apparently they're going to just